online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
She's a killer queen, gunpowder gelatine, dynamite with a laser beam, guilty to blow your mind.
Hello and welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV. We've got Scream Queens for you tonight, Season 1, Episode 4, Haunted House. I am your host, Paulina Aguilar, and we do not have a full house tonight, but I do have my wonderful co-host here with me tonight. Tell them who you are.
Hey guys, I'm Desiree, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at dmurph625. I'm super excited to be here.
It's a pretty good episode tonight.
I know.
It is. And you guys can find me on Twitter at _Paulina Aguilar and on Instagram at Paulina M. Aguilar. So let's dig right into this. So I think we've got a lot of answers for us tonight. We start off with the Chanel Oween.
Love.
Which is, I laughed so hard because it kind of reminded me of, I don't know if you guys watch Ellen DeGeneres with her Christmas giveaways, how she sends gifts to people's houses and they get so excited if it's from Ellen, and I kind of got that feel from them, and I thought it was just one of the funniest things I've seen in a while.
I did too, and I was telling you this before the show, but I thought it was hilarious that, you know, she only has like 700 followers, which like, in our day and age, that's not
It's
that
not
many.
a lot.
So that was kind of hilarious, like all of her fans.
And the things that they were getting were like dead arms, a pool of blood,
Smashed
and they were
pumpkins.
I'd be so creeped out, but I guess if you're a fan of Chanel, it's a great thing to get. So let's move on. So we start off with Grace and Pete, and they go on the hunt for Mandy, who, if you look back, she's the one in the pink dress, to get some info as far as the baby. What is your suspicion of her? I mean, now we find out that she's dead.
Yeah. Well, it's really weird because I'm sure we'll get to this later on, but I thought it was weird that she was just chilling in her trailer watching horror movies. Like, that's creepy. Who does that? You know what I mean? Like, by yourself playing with a rat? Like, that's
It's a squirrel.
creepy.
It's a squirrel.
It was a squirrel?
Yes,
I thought
it was a
rat.
squirrel. No,
Thank
she's
you.
not that creepy. It was a
Okay.
squirrel. Well, I guess she said that since that night she was terrified and she just went under the radar, which is why she lived in that trailer in the middle of nowhere. In the dark.
Still creepy. I don't know.
Oh,
she
yeah.
creeps me out a little bit.
But I feel like we didn't get a lot of answers from her.
I agree.
I mean, all we got was a little bit of info on maybe the two girls and where they were. One was institutionalized, one works for Fox News. But I mean, as far as that, the only key that we got was that the baby is officially a girl.
Yes.
She was there. We know it's a fact, and we can eliminate a lot of our suspects.
That helps. It does help a lot.
Yes.
So we're good on that.
Yes, it does.
And also, I liked that Pete and Grace came dressed as the guy and girl from like How to Lose a Guy in 10
days. Yes.
And like when he was even talking to Mandy, he was
Matthew
still talking in the
McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey voice and tone, and I was like, this is
He
good
was
moment.
pretty spot on.
Yeah.
And the tone and the spacing of the words, and it just worked, and I thought it was hilarious. It was such a nice little touch.
It was.
I thought
liked
so.
it. It was fun.
Yes, it was. So the baby girl. Now, did you have any suspicions on who the baby was before we found out it was a girl?
I thought it was a boy. I really did.
thought so too.
I don't know who I thought the guy was, but I did not think it was a girl whatsoever. So that was really a shocker.
A few people on the panel here thought it was Pete.
I could see that.
Yeah. I didn't think it was him, but I still don't think it's Grace.
Yeah.
Who do you think it is
I
now?
couldn't
Who's your
see
suspicion?
that. Now that it's a girl? Oh
I
my
think
gosh.
Grace, for it to be Grace, it's too obvious.
Yeah.
I think it's way too obvious. It's a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
And I know the numbers don't add up, and I know that her dad could have lied to her, but I don't think it's her.
I cannot see it at all.
No,
And the fact that they brought it up this episode, like her freaking out to her dad, I think that's even more reason that it's not her, because like it's too soon.
Yeah, and I think there is a secret that he is hiding from her. I just don't think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I had to pick a girl at this moment in time, I would probably go with Chanel, number one. It's just so unexpected.
Yeah.
Like to have, like to have you think that you're fabulous and all this money and all this stuff, and all of a sudden, hey, I'm the baby that my mom died, and the bathtub, exactly. She was so fascinated with the story. I don't know. I think it'd be a nice little twist.
I think so too. I like that.
Now we move on with Zadie, who wants to be president of the United States, and she decides to run for president of the Kappa Kappa house. What are your thoughts?
I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Would you vote for her?
I think I would.
Between her and Chanel, I would go with the less evil and go for Zadie as well.
If I were in the house, I'd definitely be voting for Zadie.
Yeah, so then she decides to have a haunted house party that we will get to later, and a fundraiser for sickle-cell-anemia, which is totally random, but...
Yeah, like where did that come from?
I have no idea. I thought we were going to get a little bit more of a background from that, but we didn't. So we see Zadie running for president, and they all carve pumpkins together, and then we see Chanel wanting to have a party to kind of get revenge and have this popularity contest and all that stuff.
Yeah, and when they're carving the pumpkins is when Chanel finds out that Zadie is going to go up against her as president. So that's when she finds out. Drops the pumpkin. Kind of crazy. I mean,
it's totally crazy.
Expected.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. So now we go back to Mandy with the trailer. And she dies. She gets stabbed. First of all, how did the devil know that she was there?
Good question.
Hello.
I mean,
we know that there's two. So I feel like, and we know that one of them is Nick Jonas or is helping them. So I feel like maybe, is there a spy? Does he follow Grace and Pete? What kind of tabs does he take and how does he know?
Exactly.
I feel like every person that they talk to and find, he's just gonna kill.
And it's like then and there. It's like they do something. They talk. And then 2 seconds later,
the same
they're
day.
gone. I'm like, okay. How is this happening? I don't know.
I have no idea. I cannot figure it out yet. I mean, this devil is going on a rampage. I can't figure it out.
I can't either. It's really bothering me, as I'm sure all the viewers watching the show, same thing.
Oh, yeah.
If you have any idea, please let us know what your theories are.
I feel like there's a mole. I feel like there might be a mole that kind of tells them where to go and who so-and-so is and where they live, and that's kind of how they die. I mean,
there has to be someone.
You can't be in the same in two places at once, unless there's two of you, which there are. So there's two red devils. So Chanel number 6, Leah Michelle, girl, you are cray cray.
Yeah. Like, where did her character, like, tonight, Hester, what?
Night and day.
Nowhere.
You see her in the first couple episodes, and she's this bratty little nerd that loves dead bodies, and all of a sudden, she's got game. She's on to Chad.
Yeah.
She's
all about the back door. What is this?
I don't know if Chanel taught her a few things, but I feel like it's going to bite her in the butt.
Literally.
Were you expecting this from her character?
No, not at all. But I loved it. Like, it came out of nowhere. I wasn't ready for it tonight, but every single scene tonight that was my favorite was because of Hester. So
really,
yeah,
she's creepy.
She is.
I mean, I could understand the whole dead body thing maybe, but the whole like let's go have sex in a haunted house in a graveyard and where there's dead people, I don't know what she's trying to pull.
Yeah, I don't know.
I haven't figured her out. Have you?
No. And then one of the lines that she said, I don't know what it was exactly, but just like I want everything that Chanel has, including you, when she was talking to Chad. Like, that was interesting.
I feel like she's trying to climb the ladder or just, I don't know.
And then she talks about, like, if Zadie does win for president, has a good chance of being VP. And then, I think she said something about, like, Zadie was actually going to fall down the stairs accidentally. Oh, accidentally? I mean, and that's kind of interesting, right?
Do you think she can be the killer?
Maybe. She has a very weird side to her. And, like, in the beginning, she was so nerdy. And then this side of her comes out of nowhere. Like, what else is she capable of?
Well, she's not wearing the brace anymore.
I know.
And I know.
And it doesn't seem to be paining her anymore like it did when she first took it off.
And I remember seeing an Instagram picture of her when it's all bedazzled. So she has it back on, but it just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
Oh, now my suspect, she's on my list now.
Same.
She's obsessed with dead bodies. I don't know. I
don't know. There's something weird about her, but we got to stay on her.
You're on my list. You're on, I got my eye on them because she's creeping me out. And who else is creeping me out is Grace's dad.
Yes. Okay, every single time he's in watching one of those movies,
that's all he does.
But
that's all he does.
Face, he enjoys it way too much than he should be. And then he's like, he says a one line, and then he's just like, okay, see you next week.
And there's a difference. Like, I mean, I could get my fair share of scary movies and be like, oh, okay, I like this part, or someone dies, but he is like, almost, it looks like he gets off on it.
Yeah, it's disgusting and creepy.
And we haven't heard of a backstory of him yet.
No.
And he has a secret.
Yeah, he's just a weird dude.
I don't think he's the killer, though.
No, but he could maybe be in on it. I could maybe see that.
You think he would really put his daughter through all that? I know he's like trying to protect her by saying, stay home and do this.
Yeah.
But we did see him.
Because he knows something.
We did see him fight one last week.
True.
Unless that was a cover-up.
True.
I'm playing detective over here. I'm like looking at all these possibilities. I don't even know where to come from, what angle to use. He's just creepy though.
Yeah, he creeps me out.
Yes. One of my favorite characters that we got to know a little bit was Denise, the security guard.
Yeah.
And
love her. She's so funny.
She is hilarious. And her suspicion of Zadie has not gone away.
I find that hysterical for some reason. Like, I don't know why.
Would you suspect Zadie as a...
No.
I wouldn't either. Even though she's got a
like,
chainsaw.
Like, not one inch of me is like, she's harmless to me.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm totally wrong. I don't know. Do you feel that way?
No. I think her mission is president.
Yeah.
And president only. But yeah, Denise, we see that she got rejected back in 1985, 84. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was.
Yeah,
I know it was the mid 80s, where she was not allowed to be part of the Kappa because she was black. So
and then she drops out, went to a community college. I think she said,
which is not a bad idea. So yeah, do you think that she could have something to do with it? Take a little bit of revenge on the Kappa house?
Maybe a tiny bit.
I think she's got this tough
girl facade. I don't know if she has it in her, though.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I don't think she has that kind of a bone in her body.
Yeah. Because she, like, puts up this front, like you said.
She's tough.
But when it comes down to the actual thing,
she's scared.
She's so scared. Like, when her friend died, she's just like,
pushed her out.
I'm leaving. Bye.
Yeah. Did you see that little prayer she did for her friend afterwards? She's like, Lord, I know you're in the Best Buy parking lot up there in heaven. But yeah. I don't think it's her either. And I feel like at this point, none of them should be trusted.
Yeah.
Oh, none of them.
Absolutely. Agreed with you.
Everyone has a secret. I can't trust any of them. And back to the Chanels, which, by the way, they kicked some douchebag ass in the cafeteria.
They did.
Like, they usually don't agree and unite as a front, but they did on this one, and it was female empowerment and being objectified.
I liked it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but prior to the fight, let me just tell you the whole moment where they're eating cotton balls and then Chanel gets up and she's like, whatever, I'm getting pizza. I'm like, okay, that's totally a Mean Girls, Regina George moment right there.
And the movie.
I loved it. I was like, this is so good. But like the cotton balls in the sauce.
They were actually eating it. I was trying to figure out if they were marshmallows actually or not, but I don't know.
And then the boxes had their names in gold, like script. It was so
like
funny.
It's like gluten-free, no.
That's another thing that came out of nowhere that I was like, okay, I don't know what this has to do with anything, but like it's funny.
Oh yeah, but once a guy came in and objectified one of them, they were like, oh no, because Chad talks to Chanel that way, and she loves it.
She does,
but I think because she loves Chad, so
he can do no wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So to see them unite against a guy that's attacking them in that way was kind of cool.
Yeah.
They had some moves on them that I was not expecting.
Yeah. And actually, going back to Chad for a second, so we talked about Hester, like, being weird and, like, oh, this weird side of her, but how about him, like, being so creepy in the cemetery, like, rubbing the graves, like, what's going on?
And
with
he
that?
was looking for the hot one to urinate on.
Yeah.
And I feel like Hester and Chad, they have like this weird
weird
connection.
fetish,
Yeah, and it's a weird fetish that they both get off on that makes them attracted to each other.
Another thing, too, though, like, how on earth did she know that he was there? Now that I think about it. I didn't
The
think about
first
it.
time, right?
Yeah. When I was watching it, I wasn't thinking anything of it, but now I'm like,
I would suspect that because she wants everything Chanel has, she followed him. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing that I can think of that would make sense.
And Hester being creepy Hester, I wouldn't put it past her.
No, not at all. Like, who goes to a dark
Yeah.
cemetery like that just to go to the bathroom?
I don't know.
Not I, that's for sure. So this whole haunted house, which is grossed me out, by the way, we see Chad and Hester go look for a room, and we see all the dead people we kept talking about and all the dead people we were looking for. Miss B, Mandy, Chanel, I got it, number two. Number two, Ariana Grande. And we see one more. The officer, Denise's partner. How the heck did they get there?
I don't know. That also came out of nowhere. I was rewinding it to see, like, okay, like, where exactly are they going?
She had a tombstone. They were all laid out in different places. They were all laid out in different positions. That was gross. And I must say, when Leah Michelle
Stuck the finger.
poked,
Oh, I couldn't take it. It was disgusting.
it was on DVR. I literally paused it, and I gagged. I could not take it.
Even
I
just
was
talking about it right now,
I visualize it, and it's really gross. Like,
yeah,
super,
and I'm
super
usually
gross.
okay with stuff like that, but for some reason,
I'm
I don't
not
know if it was
okay
the
with
coloring. I don't know. Next.
I need a moment to just get it out of my head for like a second. That was one of the nastiest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was really, really gross.
Ryan Murphy, well done. If that was what you were trying to do, you did it good. You did a good job. So we see everybody, all the bodies are found. And Zadie, we see the party start. First of all, Chad and Hester, they see the dead bodies and they run and they go to a coffee house. Is that the first place you would go after you find dead bodies?
I don't know where I would go, but it wouldn't be there. It wouldn't be in a public place.
I would
And
not.
they just sit there and they're like,
They couldn't believe it. Yeah, I would have gone to a police station.
yeah.
That was odd, but I guess for their characters, it makes sense. And then that's when everybody shows up to the party.
And do you believe that they were both genuinely freaked out? Because it
Yes.
looked like it.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I think Leah Michelle's character, Chanel number 6, puts up this front. Like, she loves dead bodies, but I mean, that freaked her out.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even blood. It wasn't a
No.
dismemberment of a limb, of anything. So I don't think they're involved.
Yeah.
I think I could eliminate them for sure.
After seeing that scene, yeah.
That was just
That was a lot.
yes.
A lot
that-
to take in.
Oh God. So they're at the party and they call the cops, or Zadie does, and Zadie gets kidnapped.
Yeah.
Hello, plot twist. How come she's not dead?
Yeah.
She's
that
not.
was
She's not a
interesting, too.
Chanel like Chanel number 2, but they didn't kill her. Why?
I don't know. That's a really good question.
That threw me off. So what do they keep her for? Do they need her? Do they know
And they
her?
say that she's kidnapped, but maybe she was taken somewhere and then.
Well, in the
we don't know,
in the
right?
previews, we see her in a hole.
You're right.
So she is alive, but I can't figure out why they would save her life. Like, why spare her
she's
life?
different. Yeah. That's a really good question.
Any suggestions? Please tweet us because we need to figure this out.
We do.
Yeah, I don't know, and it shows everybody else's character that they're all ruthless.
I know.
Nobody's going out to look for them except for
Exactly.
Grace.
And then Chanel's the one especially that's like, well, she should have thought about that before she betrayed me, which is very interesting.
Which I could expect that from her character, I
me
guess.
too.
It's not like she gave to
Yeah.
you know what about everybody else. But I mean, what do you think the motive is behind the whole?
I don't know, but it reminds me too of it's like, okay, they're gonna continue having fun while something terrible is happening, just like the bathtub scene.
Possible.
Chanel, I don't know.
The first one?
Yeah,
Chanel number 1. You know what? She freaked out when she killed Miss B.
she did.
Unless it's all an act, I feel like the killer isn't someone who's fazed by that, obviously. Otherwise, they wouldn't be killing people like that. Yeah, that I cannot puzzle it together.
I know.
The whole Sadie situation. And then the end of the episode, hello, Gigi.
Yeah, what? Yeah, so we find out about this old hag lady.
Yes.
And so apparently, who was it that said they saw her like stealing diapers, stealing milk?
It was a theory that Grace had read.
Yes.
In the case, which, by the way, she was stealing diapers from the store and milk from the milkman back in 1995. And by the way, there were no milkmen back in 1995, from what I can remember at least, which I thought was hilarious because Pete had mentioned that. And I was thinking the exact same thing, which I thought was beyond hilarious.
Yeah, that was a good line.
Yeah, it was.
For sure.
But yeah, that's where the theory came from. And then we see that it's Gigi, which, by the way, since last episode, I have been saying that Gigi is the one that wanted to help the baby back in the tub. If you recall, there was one that stood behind and wanted to take care of the baby, and I'm putting my money on it that it is her.
I agree with you on that.
It has to be. She has a good heart. I don't know. But when she was sitting on the chair, she looked nuts.
Yeah. And those dolls, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, but like those are so creepy as well. I remember like I used to watch Pretty Little Liars and there were some like doll scenes in there too, and I'm just like, what is it with the dolls?
They just stare at you all day. And even when you move, it looks like they follow you.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Like, no thank you.
Yeah, no. So the whole Gigi thing, I mean, what's your whole theory behind that? Do you think that like she took the baby, it was given to her, or did she raise it? You know, like, I don't, where's your mind
Well,
out?
it seems like whoever did raise the baby did it secretively.
Oh, yeah.
So I could see her taking it without anyone knowing. There's something weird about her, too.
Yeah.
She acts like very ditzy and whatever and tries to be cool, but then...
She's really a genius?
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, man. I called it. I wasn't surprised when I saw her in the chair, but there's just something that's not clicking up there because you see her rocking and she's just like staring and she's crying, like humming, like making some kind of noise where I'm like, what
is it? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how she got the baby.
I know. And I'm trying to think back too because like when we saw her at the end, I was thinking, okay, like which of the girls is she... Like, does she feel she's most connected to? Do you feel like she favors
like
any
to
of
relate?
the girls? Yeah, in the house. Can you think of anyone, maybe? Because I was trying to put that together. I was like, maybe there's something there. But I think we'd probably have to maybe go back and look. But maybe that's something to keep in mind for next week when we watch.
Or, yeah, you know what? You might be right to kind of be like, maybe she never could have kids and raised it. And whoever the baby is, she just has that connection, like that mom thing instinct, you know? Oh, that's really scary. Hello. But what is interesting, guys, is you have to check out this new show on the CW. It's called Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. It is one of the newest shows coming out in October. It's about this woman who lives in New York who falls in love back in 2005 with her childhood or her high school boyfriend. And he breaks up with her, and 10 years later, they meet up again, and he moves to New York. So being the crazy ex-girlfriend that she is and wants to be happy, she follows him to Southern California and West Covina.
No big deal.
No big deal at all. I've never done that. I don't know if
no, I have not.
No, you've never flown across the country to for an ex?
No.
Good. Don't
I
ever.
think I'm going to ever. So.
I would not suggest it. Anyway, she leaves her dream job in New York to follow him in West Covina, and this is the writer from Devil Wears Prada and the director of 500 Days of Summer, which both movies I absolutely loved.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of excited. But the twist of this show is that it's a musical, which is very different for the CW. Do you watch the CW?
Yes, I do iZombie after show.
Oh, okay. There you go.
But I'm so excited for this. This is very cool.
Which is...
I gotta check it.
Yeah, it's different. And I'm definitely going to check it out too. It's starring and co-created by internet sensation Rachel Bloom. She can sing, she can dance. And it seems she is one of the TV's top 10 hot stars to watch. So you guys must check it out. Which, by the way, West Covina, California, I'm from the area. And it is in the preview when you watch it, it says 2 hours from the beach. It's not 2 hours from the beach. It's like 40 minutes and an hour and a half with traffic tops. I just want to throw it out there. No purpose whatsoever. Anyway, back to the point. You guys have to check it out. The critics say it is something to talk about, and you can check out the trailer at cwtv.com. And don't forget, it premieres Monday, October 12th at 7 Central on the CW. So don't forget. Yes. So back to...
Scream Queen.
I don't know what to think. There's just so much going on. Let's get into predictions, shall we?
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, first off, let's
let the music play.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
What do you predict for next week?
I know, I got too excited there. Sorry.
I'm going blind with all the lights.
I know, same. Okay, well, this whole Hester thing with Chad is just so weird to me, and I kind of like love it in a way. So I think something crazy is gonna happen with them. I don't know what.
Do you think they're gonna be like an item?
Maybe, but it's like, okay, are they gonna try to hide it from Chanel? Is it gonna be obvious? Yeah,
I would,
but I feel like maybe like Chanel is gonna find out somehow.
I was trying to think,
or maybe that's just what I want to happen.
That's what you want to happen. But you would think that because Chanel's taken her under her wing, she'd be a little bit more loyal.
Yeah,
or she's just using it to her advantage to get everything that she wants, which is what she said. Ryan Murphy.
I know.
You're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Dang it. What, any other ones? Any other predictions or
that was the big one. I mean, this whole Gigi thing is weird. And also Grace and her dad. Like something next episode has to happen where they reveal something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we got a little bit in this episode, but not enough. And I think that's going to be something for sure that we get next week.
How dark do you think his secret is? Like, if he's not the killer, what?
It's got to be pretty dark because she doesn't know hardly anything about her mom. And like, why is she just now realizing this?
If it is her, hypothetically, which I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Do you think he would really lie to her about her age? Because there's no birth certificate, apparently. It burned in the fire.
True.
So, you're 18, just because I don't want you to figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Possibly. I don't think so, but possibly.
Anything's possible here.
I know, on this show, like anything goes.
Yes.
So
I'm gonna put my money that Grace is not the baby. I can't figure out who it is. Mm-hmm. And if I had to pick someone, like I said before, I want to say it would be Chanel.
Yeah.
It's totally out of the blue. That would be one of my other predictions. And also, we did, besides seeing all the dead bodies in the haunted house, there was a few that we didn't see. Obviously, Taylor Swift lookalike. I don't think she would be there because she's got no head.
I totally forgot about her.
Yeah. I don't know where her body is unless it's still in the lawn.
Oh, we also saw Coney.
Coney, yeah. And his head was on a stake. Yeah, I saw his head on a stake. They put it over on the floor. And the frat guy that's missing 2 arms. Mm-hmm. I mean, unless he got those sewed off, did he die?
Yeah.
I don't know where he is.
That's a really good point.
Is he part of it? I don't know. Yeah. So we're missing a few dead bodies. So let's see. I think, is that everything?
I think so.
Is there
anything else?
It's going to bug me for until next week. It's going to bug me who the baby is and what Gigi's angle is. Mm-hmm. Because Munch, can't forget Munch.
Oh, yes.
I don't know what she's got up her sleeve.
Me neither. It's just weird. And whatever she's doing, flirting with Grace's
she
dad
just wants to get laid.
Flirting with anyone, basically.
Chad.
But it's weird.
There's
something there.
I feel like she did a little bit more than bury the body back in 1995. Mm-hmm. I feel like she knows who the baby is, and I feel like
she knows
her
everything.
And Gigi. I would not be surprised if they had a little thing going on.
Yeah. I think she knows everything.
I think so too. But we will have to wait for next week to find
wait.
out. Yes. And don't forget to check us out on YouTube. Rate us, thumbs up. Check us out on abtv.com. And don't forget to hashtag ABTV Scream Queens. You guys can find me, Paulina Aguilar, at _Paulina Aguilar, and on Instagram at Paulina M. Aguilar.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at dmurph625.
Bye. See you next week. Thank you for tuning in.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.